So in this video, I'm gonna short TD Ameritrade on TD Ameritrade, and surprise, surprise, the order filled. So last week, TD Ameritrade announced earnings, and for me, normally I don't trade TD Ameritrade during earnings, but the application has been really pissing me off lately with mismanaged order fills, orders actually filling, and then you not getting notified that the order fills. It's been a very frustrating experience, and my assumption, they were actually cutting back costs to deal with the fact that their major revenue stream, which is trading fees, were now brought down to zero. All the brokers are just slashing costs in order to compete with other brokers, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers. They're all competing for your money. For me, the possibility was, TD Ameritrade's revenue was gonna be down. And also their service has gone to shit. It really honestly gone to shit. I decided I wanted to place a bet on it.
I just want all of the money. Do you know what I said? I gotta get the dinero, the cash, and the bread. Money. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm down to do the do just as long as it's paying. Money.
My big loss for the week last week, American Express. I don't really trade American Express. I listen to Jim Cramer, and I know I keep saying don't listen to Jim Cramer, but this is exactly why you don't listen to Jim Cramer, because on Friday, if I have the footage, I'll put it up. I don't know if I have it. Jim Cramer, I swear, pre-market was like, you can buy American Express right now and be safe. That wasn't his exact words, I'm paraphrasing, of course. But he was like, you just buy American Express. It's a great name, it's a great price, it had great earnings.
American Express.
Oh, that quarter was beautiful. I mean, the stock I know is up, and I don't want you to chase because I think that somebody's going to say, wait a second, it's too linked to the virus. But wow, and they did it with millennials. Millennials are really signing up 50% of the new cars. So that business is great. There's really what wrong. 8 straight quarters of good numbers.
So yeah, that's exactly what I did. I bought American Express. And look at me. And now I basically have nothing to show for it. I'm holding on to quite a bit of losses. I had 350 shares total, but part of it was also my fault. And let me explain to you what that is. It was at a very high price, but bottom line, even after earnings, there's bound to be a lot of people profit taking. But the next key thing I want to mention is always pay attention to the overall market. Watch your spider index, watch your S&P futures, watch the overall market indexes. The overall market was selling, and here I'm traveling right now. If you guys can't tell, I'm in the process of moving. I didn't have like 3, 4 screens, 5 screens running, my other brokerage accounts open, my long-term. So I couldn't really tell what was happening in the overall market, and the overall market was selling. And this is important to keep in mind because the overall market actually tracks the flow of money. So if the market is selling off, that means people in general are moving their money out of the market. And sometimes some of the first places they move it out of are names that have been up big or are up huge on earnings. And for that reason, I wasn't paying attention as I should have, and that's my fault. It's my fault for 2 reasons. A, I listened to Jim Cramer, and B, I wasn't paying attention to the market. I haven't sold American Express yet. I think it can rebound from where it's at. Like I said, the market did sell off on the coronavirus. I think American Express could potentially have a bounce from here. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that trade. So Netflix also announced earnings, and I didn't do my normal earnings trade on Netflix. You guys have seen me trade Netflix before. I've done like a box position on a long and a short, and selling covered calls, selling a covered put. I'll put the video up here. That strategy would have worked wonders this time. Unfortunately for me, I didn't do that same strategy this time. Last time it cost me to lose quite a bit of money, forced me to drink on camera. I won't do that again, I promise you guys. But this time I decided to trade it after hours, played it a little bit closer to the vest on camera here for you guys. And basically I bought 100 shares of Netflix. I saw it was gonna go up right after midday. What ended up happening was Netflix just stayed stagnant the whole rest of the day. It stayed flat. I had some stuff to do. I was like, you know what? I can't wait around and watch for Netflix to go up or down. I got a ton of stuff going on in my life. I gotta focus on a few other things. I decided to actually close out Netflix at a slight profit, 100 shares. and I decided to buy 2 options contracts, calls for Netflix. And the reason I chose to do that was I did expect the stock to continue to drift up a little bit. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a lot, and I wanted to lower my risk profile. I didn't wanna come back from doing some errands and be down like 2-3 grand, right? The total cost of each options contract was a little over $400. I took it. I swung by my house about an hour later, or maybe 45 minutes later. I noticed that the options had doubled in value. I bought them for 400 or so each. I ended up selling them for maybe not double, but it was a good profit. Overall, I'm not that happy with the trade, but Netflix didn't have the normal move that it normally does have after earnings. But I did make some money. And also, this is to respond to a commenter that commented a few weeks back, hey, can you talk a little bit more about options? This is actually a great way for those people who are undercapitalized, who can't buy 100 shares of Netflix at a time. That's the only way you can really, with trading stocks, make $500, $600 a day. Trading big names is to buy $30,000 worth of the company stock. You can actually take a larger position, in this case 200 shares equivalent of Netflix, by buying 2 call options on the stock, which essentially gives you value of 200 shares of Netflix, and it only cost me $800. The trade-off, of course, is that you could be out the entire $800. Having said that, it's a great way to kind of get your toes a little wet in the market and not have so much money on the line. It's not my usual thing to do. You guys know I love to gamble on earnings. This was a little bit more, playing it a little bit safer to the vest. Why I haven't been able to trade in size as of recent, especially on the TD Ameritrade or ThinkOrSwim platform. One of the things that kept happening, this was especially true with the Netflix trade, TD Ameritrade platform never kept up to date with the price of Netflix stock. The real-time quotes were all messed up. There was a significant delay. The platform just essentially kept freezing. I called customer service. They told me to upgrade my internet connection, which is kind of stupid because I'm on a gigabit connection as of right now, so I don't know what they're talking about, quite frankly. So the customer service doesn't seem like they know what they're doing at this present moment. They're coming up with excuses, and it's very hard to trade in size if you don't know what the price of the security is that you're trading. If Netflix actually rallied $3, $4 from the time where I had bought it and the platform didn't keep up to date, I could be out a lot of money if I put a lot of volume behind the Netflix buy order. So lucky for me, I had another broker that I was using to actually track the price of Netflix while I performed the trade on TD Ameritrade, because that's the broker that I have for you guys. Regardless, the whole thing is really starting to get on my nerves. Between the price of Netflix and other securities not updating correctly, we had an issue with the order execution on Beyond Meat this past Monday. I did a small size, like 100 shares. It looked like the order didn't fill, even though it was a market order. Market order means basically it hits the market, I'll basically take whatever someone else is selling it for. That's a market order. It didn't execute, and I'm like, what is going on? I go to try to cancel it, and then it doesn't look like I own it, and then minutes later, I don't know how long later exactly, I lost track, but it looks like the order filled. What the fuck? I canceled that order. It's kind of a pain in the ass when something like that happens. The same thing happened when I went to go sell the stock, the same thing over again. And for that reason, it's just, the whole thing is just a waste. I can't really rely on the platform anymore. I could lose a lot of money, and quite honestly, at this point in time, if I lose it knowing it has these kinds of issues, it's my fault, not TD Ameritrade's fault. It's my fault for trusting this broker. Guys, this is freaking insane. This is absolutely insane. This is really freaking, I put a market order in. God. I can't even tell if I have made money on this trade. TD Ameritrade, get your shit together, please, okay? I don't think you care about the day trading community anymore though. Now that trades are free, I guess the day trading community is costing you money. Now here are the risks with this bet, and let's go into this real quick. Here are the pros, right, with betting against TD Ameritrade. The pros are they have a lowered revenue stream. They have less revenue than before because trading fees are free. Basically, they haven't yet migrated to another business model that will allow them to generate revenue. Here are the cons with TD Ameritrade. I feel like with the service I am getting lately that they're cutting back costs. Either their technology costs have gone to shit, they're not spending money on infrastructure, they're not spending money on people needed to support the infrastructure, and if they're cutting costs, they can keep the illusion that the stock will do, or the company's performing well, and the stock is performing well, at least in the short term. The other possibility is their platform might not be performing because with the lowered trading fees, there's just a huge onboard of people coming onto TD Ameritrade. That's another possibility, which is why, there are some risks to this short position. Having said all that, I wanted to take the short position and to protect myself from a massive explosion to the upside if they crush earnings, which I don't think there's any way possible that they will. I wanted to place put options to protect myself in case they did beat earnings. Puts were super cheap. I was buying them for like 95 cents 95 cents a contract, or $95 a contract. Hey guys, I haven't done one of these in a while. As you know, TD Ameritrade is having earnings today after hours. I took a put position, a small one, on TD Ameritrade for about 500 shares, so $25,000-ish is the size of my exposure. It's already down $225. I'm gonna take a slightly larger size going into earnings. Like I said, you guys, when I do stuff like this, you're literally lighting your money on fire. I am mixed about which direction this could go. They gave up a lot of their fees going in this year to earnings because of they don't charge fees anymore. And their platform's gotten worse. I feel like they could actually beat earnings, believe it or not, based on the fact that this platform has been much slower and lower in quality. I hope they fix it soon, otherwise I would consider leaving. I feel like they've cut costs down somehow because they're not charging for trading fees anymore. For that reason, I feel like this trade could lose money, but it's like I said, you have to risk money to make money. I'm gonna take another put position on TD Ameritrade. We'll see how it goes. If I can make some money, that would be really nice. And yeah, so I bought the puts earlier today. I'm buying another round just now, and earnings is after hours today. They're expected to beat, I think. I don't understand what analyst was able to calculate that unless they're laying off like crazy. They're expected to beat. Okay, so this is why I hate trading options. I placed the order. I didn't just take it at ask. Maybe I'll have to do that. I'm hoping someone will take it at 80 cents. Let's see here. Okay, cool. At least someone filled it. But yeah, overall the trade didn't work out for me. I had to sell it the following day for 65 cents a contract. Basically it didn't have the explosive move that I thought it would. After hours I was in the green, but by the time the market opened, the trade went against me. I decided options were no longer the correct approach. I carefully timed the market, and then I took 1,000 positions short on the market. And once again, I basically I was forced to sell that at a loss or cover that at a loss. So. Overall, TD Ameritrade, you got me with your shitty platform, and now you've got me with trading poorly against your name. So kudos to you. I guess I'm two small potatoes now for you, but yeah, that's it for that trade.
I just want all of